So in my opinion, you need a certain few things to have a functional yet simplistic studio/desk setup. Be it the monitor, to the peripherals, to the lighting, etc. This video will show you guys how we brought this entire place together and all of the tiny minute things that we've used, be it our editing setup, our lighting, etc. All the links will be in the description for all the products. In case you guys are interested, there'll be Amazon affiliate links which will help me get some referral fees from referring these products to you, while they will not increase a penny for you on the product. So if you guys are interested in any of the products, do go check out the links in the description. So to begin this setup, we began with blacking out the walls, of course. In case you guys haven't seen the initial first studio setup video, go check that out. I would recommend you all to check that video out because we have a lot of in-depth stuff in that as well. We began with blacking out the walls and of course blacking out the windows as well with blackout curtains, just so that we don't have any ambient light disrupting our recording or filming sessions. Just in case there's changing light outside, we didn't want any of that to hamper our recording sessions and change the light while we were recording. Now let's begin with addressing the elephant in the room, of course, the Acer 24-inch monitor. We went for this monitor for mainly a few reasons. I wanted something that went with the minimalistic theme and was simplistic yet didn't break the bank. We were strictly on a budget and we wanted something that was functional yet played the part. And that's what made us go with this 24-inch IPS display. This display is one of the sleekest displays I have seen, and it literally comes in at 6.6 mm if you guys see how thin it is. This monitor ticked all the boxes that we required. There was a 21-inch version along with this particular 24-inch version, and we went for the 24-inch version because it gave us minimal bezels and also it gave us the window-like effect while consuming media. It absolutely blows your mind when you're looking at this display, and the minimalistic bezels just add to that refinement and to that sleek look. Now coming to the display quality of this monitor, it comes in with a full HD resolution, which is also known as a 180p display. It is an IPS panel, so it gives you some fantastic colors. However, of course, we can't expect the sharpness of a 4K display. As bad as I wanted a 4K display, I had to keep the entire cost of the setup in mind, and this of course contributed to one of the major parts of that setup. However, this monitor is absolutely no slouch. It is fantastic when it comes to media consumption, especially when you're viewing videos at 180p, 2K and even 4K. And it also helps me get through with my editing flow with absolute ease. So an absolute thumbs up to this monitor. If I do get a pair of glasses, you know who's to blame. Now, as I addressed in one of my prior videos, lighting being one of the most important aspects, of course, in a studio element and for the camera as well. Now, the lighting setup that I'm running is the major softbox out here, which lights me and the scene evenly, and another very unique looking light which acts as a top light, a hair light and a fill light. But coming to that light in a bit. Now coming to our main softbox, don't let the look fool you. It is definitely not one of those crazy strobes or aperture 120Ds or some Chrome lights or something like that we're using. Rather, it is one of these light holders, bulb holders that we found that fits onto any light stand with a 1/4 screw mount, screw thread. So that's basically what our setup is. Now the fact that we got it for extremely cheap, it works very well because it holds two bulbs. We've got variants with a single bulb unit and a double bulb unit. So this one holds two bulbs, and you can slap on any bulb of your choice, of your wattage. Here we are holding two bulbs of say 15 watts. That gives us a nice even lighting. Now anyone that understands lighting understands that light needs to be diffused. Hence I didn't go with the infamous ring light setup. Sorry, no TikToker feels here. Instead what we did is we went with a Godox softbox, which this one is apparently 80 centimeters if I'm not wrong. The rod of the softbox passes through the light holder and holds it in place, and you slap on the diffuser, and voila, you have a perfectly ready softbox for a bare minimum price. All the links again will be in the description. And this kind of setup will give you a nice, soft and even distribution of light all over your scene. Now, coming to the second light, a very weird looking light, as I told you guys, right? However, the setup is the same. It is, however, a single bulb holder on a light stand, unlike the dual bulbs on the bigger softbox. However, you'll ask me, Arish, what exactly is this that's covering the light? Are you guys ready for this? This is literally a food box. You heard me right. It's actually a food box. There's a hole which allows the bulb holder to go through the back, and you take the lid off the box and there's a bulb inside. Throw the lid back on and you've got some fantastic diffused light as your backlight, top light, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, get creative, my friends. Coming to the audio, I use this particular mono lav mic, which I also ordered off Amazon. Again, the link will be in the description. Along with this, I use a Rode Micro shotgun mic on top of the camera as well. Now, even though this Rode Micro shotgun does not do the job of picking up audio at a distance, however, it gives me decent audio so that I can sync it back in my editing software. The lav mic usually connects to either my MacBook or my phone, where it records independently. So all I have to do is pick up the files from there, put them in the editing software and sync both the audios, which is the click of a button literally. So that is basically what I have set up for my audio. You probably also need a camera and a tripod in a studio setup, in case you haven't figured by now. Now, coming to the peripherals, we have the keyboard. I sourced this keyboard from Amazon itself. It is from a company called Brolavia. The links will be in the description. Again, when I was looking for a keyboard, I wanted something that was minimalistic and yet got the job done effectively. Now, I have a very weird preference when it comes to keyboards. I like a more of a clickety feel and with a very minimal key travel. And this keyboard absolutely blew my mind. The only other keyboard that I was really happy with was the one on the MacBook itself. It had some minimal key travel, but however, it still wasn't exactly how I liked it. But boy, did this keyboard blow my mind. I mean, just listen to this. The keyboard runs on 2 AA batteries and has not run out on me till date. I've been using it for the past 4 months and it's still going strong. So that tells you enough. It has its own sleep modes, goes into its own sleep mode if you don't use it for long enough, and you can wake it up with the click of a button. Now, of course, while you can't compare this keyboard with the one on the MacBook Pro itself or the Magic keyboard, of course, from Apple, I have to disagree sometimes and say I kind of like this one a little more than both of those keyboards. I love the key travel. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it feels. It's got the right amount of key travel for my personal liking. Of course, that's again individual, but yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this keyboard. The link will be in the description in case you guys want to go check it out and pick it up. The mouse, once again, was from Amazon, from a brand called Concept Cart. Again, it fit into our minimalistic theme perfectly. It was simplistic yet very classy and retaining the shape of the Magic Mouse, of course. However, of course, you can't compare it to the Magic Mouse because it is literally not even 1/3 the cost of the Magic Mouse. However, it gets the job done. It's robust. And one of the main reasons I selected this particular mouse was because every other wireless mouse on the market was offering me a receiver to plug into the PC or the MacBook that I'm using in order to pick up the signal from the mouse to be used on the display. I was strictly looking for something that connected directly via Bluetooth straight to my MacBook without a receiver. And that's one of the main reasons I came across this mouse and I selected it. I did not want a receiver because the MacBook already lacks ports when it comes to the ability to plug in different devices. And even with a dongle, I was already short of ports, so I didn't want to waste one of those ports on having to plug in a receiver for a mouse. Besides that, the mouse also comes with a receiver just in case you want to use it, and apparently it can connect to 2 different devices that way. So let's say I want to use it on a PC, I can put in the wireless receiver onto the PC. With a click of a button, I can switch it to using it on the PC, or go back to using it with Bluetooth on my MacBook. I absolutely cherish this mouse, and it's worked great for me, so absolute thumbs up. Retains the form factor of the Magic Mouse. Of course, no comparison, because you can't compare the Magic Mouse with this, of course, but at less than 1/3 the price, I am absolutely not complaining. Once again, the link will be in the description. Go check it out if you guys like it. Now, coming to our next bit, being the speakers. Again, we have nothing too crazy. We had a Harman Kardon that was just lying around at a friend's place, so we decided to use that. The only actual time that I am using a speaker is when I'm sitting with someone consuming media online, or I am making a video edit and we need suggestions and we need to go back and forth with each other. At all other times, I am using my Bluetooth headphones, which I recently purchased. They're the Boat Rockers 450 Pro. They are a little bass heavy, but they offer some fantastic sound. Again, they connect to my MacBook directly via Bluetooth, so again, no wires at all, minimalistic feel, minimalistic touch. Now, one of the main reasons I purchased this headset is because of its battery life. It claims a battery life of 70 hours, and trust me when I tell you, I'm a heavy user. I use these headphones on a daily for a minimum of 8 to 10 hours, if not more, and I do not have to charge them in one entire week. That's how fantastic the battery life is. So an absolute value for money deal, and that's how I'm covered on my sound. Now, coming to the decor of the place, we'll start with the table. We went for an IKEA dark wood Linman Atlas table. We went for the 100 centimeter variant. Though it looked a little larger in the pictures, it was a fair 100 centimeters, so we weren't complaining at all. We absolutely loved the texture of the dark wood and how stealthy it looked in our setup. We added some LEDs running around the table, and they change up the ambience of the place at any point of time, so I think that's an absolute plus. And yeah, that's basically what we have in terms of the desk. For the seating, once again, we chose the IKEA Lobbergard Bliska swivel chair. We chose this in white, and we loved how it sort of broke the contrast to the studio and kept it extremely chic and classy. For the flooring, again, we laid out 2 large felt wool carpets in grey. Again, it broke the contrast, and it gave the place a very cozy yet professional home studio feel. The link will again be in the description in case you guys want to order this. We also created some desk mats from the excess that we had left. Now, keeping the aesthetics of the place in mind, we added a lot of greenery within the studio itself to sort of give the place a little more life. Now, all the plants that we added were, of course, fake plants. We did not want real plants in the studio because we were dicey about having to take care of them just in case they made a mess on the carpets, leaked water, or made mud patches. We did not want to deal with any of that. So we went for the fake plants. We ordered a couple of small ones all over the studio. We laid some out on top of the cabinet to sort of give it a nice airy feel. And we also had one of the largest ones that we have in the studio, which came in around 3 feet. However, 3 feet of course wasn't enough, so what we did was we got creative. We bought the largest size bucket, filled it with a wooden plank inside at an elevated height, and we placed the plant on top of that. And voila, we have a plant looking much taller and much larger than it actually was. We also laid out our camera equipment on top of the cabinet because it sort of gave character to the studio. And last but not the least, we added these beautiful minimalistic frames which we were craving for, and a dear friend of ours really helped us access them. We wanted these frames because they had a quote which held very true to our hearts: dream big and work hard. And That's the kind of quote you want in your studio setup, something that inspires you at all times when you're there, something that inspires you to do better, something that is a constant reminder for you within the studio. Now, while a project like this is forever changing and forever evolving, just as we are, it should give you a realistic idea of the things you would need to sort of create a space like this and set up a space like this. If you guys did enjoy this video, you guys know what to do. Hit the bell icon, hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. Do tell me what you learned from this video, what you guys liked about this setup, what you guys would like to change, and if this video inspired you to create your own, very own YouTube home studio space. Stick around, stay blessed, keep putting in the work, and I will catch you guys in the next one.